Y'all really can't tell me that Volkswagen has a complicated suspension system when there's 4 control arms on an Audi.
Customer states replace all seatbelts, dog chewed through them. What do you have, a little piranha? I mean, good grief. It even somehow opened up the glove box and chewed up the soft open. Just replaced that though.
Customer states noise just started this morning. Let's see if he's right. Yeah, I think it started sooner than that, buddy. All right, guys, I'm back with another one. A 19 Chevy Colorado. What is that, like 20 horsepower right there? Okay, so customer states that the check engine light keeps coming on intermittently. Right now the check engine light isn't on, but I did scan it and the codes that I got was a P0171 and a P0174. Okay, before I go any further, comment what you think is wrong with this car. All right, so I pulled up the scan data and yeah, it's running lean. Positive 21, positive 22, both banks. It's a common issue on these, so stay tuned if you have a Colorado. Yep. So whoever installed this nice K&N horsepower forgot to plug this all the way in. There you go. Click. And there you go. I verified that it is fixed back to normal. Guys, there's a TSB for this one. So if you don't have the, the 15 horsepower upgrade and you just have the regular, engine cover, there is a TSB. Look out for that.
2004 Jaguar. Customer states rattling sound underneath vehicle. Check and advise. Advised customer, transmission heat shields are license plates.
Customer states brakes just started grinding a week ago. I think it's a little bit more than a week ago. A little bit.
Customer states we're having issues with the blower motor. We're running into the problem where none of the speeds work except for the last 2. Basically, how cars adjust the blower speed when you change the settings is through a blower motor resistor. The higher the resistance, the slower the fan blows. That was typically a low setting would have higher resistance, whereas the highest setting is full power to the blower, no resistance at all. That's why it blows harder. Right here is our old one. See how it's burnt right there? Our newly designed blower resistor with actual resistors like this one. This one should hold up a lot better. Let's install it and see what happens. 90% of the time, your blower resistor will be mounted up underneath the dashboard where your blower goes. As you can see, I actually had to take the blower out to access this resistor. Okay, let's test it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom, we got all speed.
Customer complaint, no speedometer. Digital readout missing. Oh, look at that!
Well, let's get it. Part 4 on the ship box. So the last time that I left off on this vehicle is that we needed to take the blower motor out in order to get to the rear 2 brake lines leading from the firewall to the interior cabin. So I have it pretty much disassembled to the point where I can snake it out. It just does not have a lot of wiggle room for me to snake this thing out. So I'm struggling just a little bit, but there's a first for everything. Like this whole fucking job, but you know what? Let's fucking get it.
All right, we got it installed. Don't mind the massive cables, but I finally got everything installed. The hard line's in there, both grommets are secure. So now comes the task of putting back everything. Fucking kill me.
Got the new lines over here to the junction. I just gotta fuck around with that grommet down there to have it all line up and whatnot. And then we have to just put together the interior again.
Let's fucking get it.
So this is going to be part 5 for the brake line assembly. I installed the new junction with new hardware, nice and shiny, and now today is the day where we're going to drop the gas tank and possibly the exhaust in order to get the rear lines routed. So let's fucking get it. Instead of routing one line or both of the lines together, I'm routing them one at a time, and this one's already connected. Woohoo! So that's one down. Now the real challenge just becomes being able to snake that underneath the gas tank and up and around. Yep, this is gonna be fun. Well, after having to drop the subframe so that we can route this line, we finally fucking got it. That line is routed. And now we have both lines routed. It is about fucking time. This car's been here long enough. And to be completely honest, fuck you, both. I have been working on this car nonstop and haven't. Shut up! I haven't. I lost my train of thought. I have not been making videos that often, so that I can actually work on the car as much as I can. And now, the next video is probably going to be the ABS relearn and just dressing up everything and doing the brake flush. So let's fucking get it.
Customer tried to install their own fuel pump, so I guess they couldn't figure out that you got to twist it.
Alright, it's 28 degrees outside. Obviously this motherfucker hasn't started or ran since I got here this morning. That ought to tell you something. Oh shit, forgot to turn those off. 2003 F250 with the 7.3. We're gonna let those glow plugs run for a few more seconds. But yeah, there's your temperature gauges. Let's see if she hits. And people say 7.3s cannot start below 50 degrees.
Customer states parking brake does not work, and it failed at another shop for the parking brake not working. Take the rotor off and there's nothing there. Mechanic states, where the fuck did it go?
All right, guys, I'm back with another one. Today we are working on a 16 Colorado. It is Wednesday, guys.
Happy hump
day. This one, I'm gonna call it Waste of Time Wednesday. Customer states that her 12-volt chargers, both of them, are an op. She means her cigarette lighters, if anyone didn't get that. So I have my test tool right here. Bought it from the AT&T truck. Let's test it out. Okay, so on these Colorados, they have 2 cigarette lighters, one in the front and one, all right, let me do some digging. I'll find it. All right, there it is. And I already found the problem. Let's move this big gulp out of the way. We'll put it back. Check that out. Check it out. Oh man, I can't get that out. There's a penny in there. That's what's it. That's a penny in there. We'll get it out. All right, so the penny's out. Now we move on to the back. Where's the other one? All right, so the other one in the rear has something plugged in. Let's test it out. Okay, so whatever plug was in there, I don't know what it was for. Probably an Android or something. So I plugged mine in. Let's turn the car on. You see that? You see how it lit up? that means it's working. So I didn't do anything to this one, but the other one, the fuse just popped and we replaced the fuse. This video is not sponsored by Subway, by the way. Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to charge, but this was plugged in the rear one, and the rear one was working. It's separate circuits. Must be to like a flux capacitor or some shit, because yeah, that's weird. All right, we're out. It's fixed.
Customer states, my car is driving a little weird after the accident. Well, for starters, your lower control arm is supposed to look like this, not this. Yikes.
Okay, before we start this video, I just want to say that maybe this test only works on GM cars because they have this housing. And I don't want anyone in the comments saying, oh, my Subi doesn't have that. That doesn't work. With that said, let's get into it. All right, guys, I'm back with another one. This is going to be the thermostat testing video for P0128. This is going to help you guys diagnose a stuck open thermostat. Check this out. Okay, so there's a lot of videos out there where you boil water and you put it in the water to see if it opens. Man, nah, fuck all that. Okay, if you have coolant, pour some in the thermostat like that. The thermostats are closed and you check if it's leaking. Look at that. And if it's closed in a good thermostat, it won't leak coolant even though there's coolant there. Okay, so this is the thermostat off that Silverado. Yeah, you can use the boiling method trick to see if it opens and closes. I didn't mean to make it sound like that's a bad method, but I got a quicker way. This thermostat is stuck open. To the untrained eye, it might not look like it, but this is what's setting the P0128. Because it's not letting the engine come up to operating temperature. This is going to be a TikTok hack, so I have it in the vise just because I need my hands to record. So we're going to pour coolant into this, and it should not pour out. See that? That thermostat is stuck open. And there you go, guys. Like this video, share it with someone that needs help with the P0128. I'm out.
Customer states, vehicle will stay at $6,000 when in sport mode. Oh, correction. Customer states they will stay around 6,000 RPMs in sport mode. All right. Well, there is 2 sport modes. You can do the drive mode, which changes all of that, or you can do the manual shift. And if you're in manual shift, you can do whatever you want until you reach 7K, so maybe they're staying in the manual shift. I sure can keep it at $6,000, but there we go. Just gotta go a little further. I sure hope they weren't chilling in manual mode for like a few miles. Fuck.
Customer states, vehicle went into the ditch, was pulled out, drove fine, now has warning lights and no power. Customer then tells us, vehicle was up to the steering wheel in water. Drain the fuel, and there's not much fuel, it's mostly water.
All right, customer states vehicle bucks when turning in 4-wheel drive, goes away in 2-wheel drive. I can't, not today, guys. I can't. Okay, so we're in 2-wheel drive. Looks good. Let's go to 4-wheel drive. Customer says it didn't do that before you fixed my 4-wheel drive. Come on. Are we doing this today? Come on.
Today's episode of Customer States. Customer States, install hitch and wiring. Let's see what we got. Step 1, remove bumper cover. Well, bud, apparently you already got a hitch. I think that might have been the fastest hitch and wiring I've ever put in my entire life.
customer states that their vehicle was making some noise and they could see some smoke coming out from underneath of it. Oh, that's because the PTU literally cracked in half. And it took a chunk of the transmission with it. Actually, 2 chunks. One here, one here. And then it kind of just blew nasty PTU oil everywhere. They say you can't smell a video, but if you're a Ford guy, you know what this smells like. Pretty much what happens with those PTUs in a lot of cases is the fluid will leak out of them and they'll typically make a lot of noise, and in rare situations they'll get so bad they'll start to seize up. Well, that one had to have seized up like going down the road full bore, and it just came apart.